Hey Forex Fortune Hunters, Tom Wilmot speaking. In this particular video, we're going to review the week of May 20th, 2019 and take a look in particular at the currency pair pound and yen. That's on the chart in front of you right now. And in this video, we want to compare how our two templates, GMMA, Super GMMA, and the Double Whammy template with Trend Magic and our Chandelier indicator handle the price movements of this very volatile pair. It was the week that ended with Prime Minister May resigning and the Brexit deal still completely unresolved. So hang on to your hats and we'll get started right after this. Hey Fortune Hunters, as I mentioned, we are taking a look at the pound yen here during the week of May 20th. Here was a Sunday night opening. And in this particular video, we're going to concentrate on our Trend Magic and Chandelier Double Whammy indicator. And then we're going to compare a little bit how did this track the price movements when you take a look at our other indicator, Super GMMA, with the multiple moving averages. So let's get started. And you can see here we had a move slightly higher in the Sunday night opening, but typically this Monday period is pretty quiet and part of consolidation unless there's been huge news over the weekend, some kind of large economic announcement of one sort or another, currency changeovers. But typically you're not going to get that on the weekend with the central banks changing direction and so forth. So in any event, here we are on Monday and we had a move back and forth. Now here, notice our indicator with this pullback here and a failure here at the Trend Magic. We did get a pretty decent trade out of this. It was down to 22 pips. So if you're in the mood for scalping, you could always move this down to a 15 or a 5-minute chart and play around with that kind of a move. Into Tuesday, we had an uptick and then a pullback. Still very volatile. Nothing you could really get involved with here. Notice that when we had the Trend Magic white lines aligned, we didn't get the move off of it, so you wouldn't be involved in this trade on the 30-minute chart. Now, we did have a rocket ship higher on Tuesday, and you're probably not going to be chasing this on the 30. But if you were, for example, to move this over a bit, I moved a yellow line here so we could keep track of where we are. Let's drop down to the 15. And notice right away here, this is the 7 o'clock Boston time, the opening of the New York Stock Exchange here with the pink line and our yellow line to tell us where we were. Notice we pulled back, consolidated right on top of Trend Magic, and then took off. And that was a nasty move higher. Even though it pulled back rather quickly, we had 96 pips on whatever announcement was going on. So you'd want to keep track of your Forex announcement calendar on forexfactory.com to see how that's shaping up and what's likely to happen in that area. Then we have the pullback, and now we've got more consolidation. And this is a little bit gentler kind of a position here. Notice your time frame candles, which are now 15-minute here, are not so jagged. We have a decline into the London Open here. And if you were tracking now at the 15-minute time frame, you'd be in this position to come down into here, and we had a 65 pip move. So there's nothing to sneeze at in that particular kind of a trade, and you'd be well into it. So this, once again, is 22nd of May, so it's Wednesday, and that's when you're going to get most of your opportunity, I have found, with this particular pair. Okay, let's drop back to the 30-minute chart here. Once again, we didn't, except for one little bit of upward white movement here. This collapsed again and went back down into Thursday. And so then on Thursday, we had another move to the downside as things with Brexit were heating up, and it was obvious that it was just getting worse and worse politically. The pound versus the yen dropped to new lows. So then into Friday, more chop, a little bit of an uptick when Prime Minister May announced her resignation. They thought maybe that would save things, but then very quickly right back down into the swamp. So that was our Friday on our Trend Magic double whammy indicator. Let's switch over now to GMMA. This is our multiple moving average template. And notice what we've got here. We've got a 30-minute chart. Here was this Sunday evening situation. And I'll get rid of our RSI here and see if we can open this up a little bit more, just so you'll see it. The RSI simply helps confirm our moves. This gives a little bit better view of things. Notice here we had an uptick, but then we had kind of a shooting star candle configuration. Down we went. We did have this arrow, then a pullback, so this didn't work out all that well. We had another drop down. And then notice in this area, when you don't get the confirmation of these candles, it's even less likely you're going to get the sustained trend. Here was that turnover on Tuesday, and in this particular case, notice we probably want to drop down to a lower time frame here with this candle as we did the last time over on Double Whammy. And so let's drop down and see if we got any kind of a signal here that we can use. Here it is. Oh, and fantastic. So even with this particular double GMMA in that same area of 7 a.m. To 9:30 with the open, we did get that pullback on the Tuesday right back into the bands, and off we went with that 96 pip move to the north. Here was another one where we did have the arrow, but it's just kind of consolidating. That's end of day. You're probably not going to be trading this at this particular moment in time. The next best move here is the arrow down, the sustained move of the multiple moving averages, a pullback into the bands, into the Wednesday time frame, I believe, down here. And this move constrained, obviously, the upwards move. Counter trend trades constrained to the upside by the moving averages, and then down 71 pips. And this was the 22nd, which would have been Wednesday, 20, 21, and 22. Now we move further, and we get that continued move downwards here with the Super GMMA, new GMMA template. And we have this move here right back into here. Perfect trade here, because we have the resistance of our Zealander fly trap signal line. We have a pullback into the bands that's constraining the upside movement, and into the time frame on Thursday. This is the evening rollover. We had first move down of 35 pips, and then we're into the Asian session. We get this pullback, and then as you move into London, you get that 66 pip move. So very nice moves on Wednesday and Thursday in the pound yen. Time to go play golf if you're someplace warm. Same thing here. Again, a pullback in the New York time frame. New York Stock Exchange, 7 a.m. Boston, which is the time sequence I like to use here. As America wakes up and the Europeans are still trading like crazy, so there's a 55 pip move, a pullback, but still can't take out the previous high. And so that's a bit of a comparison for you of the two templates. Obviously, you're welcome to email or send me a note in the comments section if you'd like to have some of these. I have programmed this one, and so I like to ask you for some sign-ups or some reviews of my book in order to get the Zealander signal line, but all the others are pretty much free and in my Dropbox account, so just give a holler and we'll be happy to share with you. I hope this has been helpful. Good trading on the Forex, and stay tuned for new postings.